Hello there, Sagittarius. Alright, we're starting your love and spirituality reading. This will be from August 11th to August 18th, 2018. This will be a kind of a different reading. The thing I want you guys to know, okay? And I'm stuttering over my words. It's part of it, okay? I promise. Shouldn't have had all that liquor. It makes it so it's difficult to do things, okay? It does. I'm just kidding. But so you can check down in the description below, and we'll have your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Okay, that's what this video is for, is Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. But you can look in the description, and in alphabetical order, it will have links to all the other videos. That way you don't have to click back and find another video. It's all just right in the description of every video that I'm posting, and all of these will be coming up simultaneously, so you can check all of the videos. As soon as you're done with this one, you can go to another one. And as long as you're down there, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Like if you haven't liked it, okay? And also, please check out my website, vitaltarot.com. That would mean so much to me, and I would really appreciate it. Okay, so let's get started. What I'm going to say here is, before we start, I'm going to set an intention. The intention is this. This information will be for whoever needs guidance and love, and will always be for the highest good. Okay, that sets an intention. That gets us ready to go. So I shuffled these a little bit off screen, so I'm only going to shuffle one more time. That is what we're doing. And I'm using the Fountain Tarot and the Energy Oracle Tarot. Okay. And let's begin. So we're going to start with the spiritual part of the reading first. And we're looking at your past spiritually. Okay. And so in the past, I feel like there could have been a fire sign, because I get the Three of Wands and the Page of Wands in reverse. So there could have definitely been a fire sign. We're looking at Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius, like yourselves. Okay, so this also could have been you as well, seeing as it could be a fire sign. But what I'm seeing here is the Three of Wands. And in the past, this is someone who was creating a future, okay? And this could be with a family that you had, or with a group of friends that you had at the time. But I feel like there was a sense of struggling to create a future, or struggling to create something. And in the spiritual realm, spiritual doesn't mean just like psychic stuff, or psychic development, or whatever it happens to be. It's not just that. To develop spiritually is to develop kind of like a psychological wellness, where we know what's going on with us, and we can look at other people and we can see what's going on with them too. Not to pass judgment, but to see areas where we can improve our lives, okay? Because that's the ultimate key to being spiritual, is that you want to keep improving yourself and you want to keep learning, right? So I feel like there was a real struggle, though, with looking for a future, or with trying to find something that had kind of a cemented foundation to it. And where I see the Page of Wands in reverse, too, I feel like maybe we were approaching this too naively. Maybe there was a project spiritually that we were working on, which could be ourselves, or it could be a more creative project that we were working on, and we thought that we could handle it. And when I say past, I feel like between 2 weeks to 2 months ago, okay? But a project that we felt like we could do without having anyone's help, and we could just take it on ourselves, okay? I see the Three of Wands, which normally means that there could be two other people, but where I see the Page of Wands in reverse, I feel like there may have been other people around you that were with the project, but I feel like you were doing most of the work in the project. Does that make sense? Because that's what I'm feeling. So moving on, and I feel like there was some resentment because you were doing most of the work, but yet if you would have asked for help, these people would have helped you, but also they could have been lazy as well. I can see why you didn't ask for help. Let me put it that way. Okay? Let's move on to the present. Wow. This is an interesting thing. Fire sign all the way, because every card you've had so far, okay, and there's been 4 of them, all of them are Wands. So we're looking at the Eight of Wands, and we're looking at the Ace of Wands, okay? So right now, right this damn second, okay, and I'm going to say damn second because it's happening right now. There is a major amount of energy that's going on right now. It could be because of the Lion's Gate that's going to be opening up. It could be because Mercury's in retrograde. Or it could be because you've been working on your damn self. And that, I'm hoping, is what this is. So I see the Ace of Wands, which to me is the start of a new creative endeavor. This could even be this could be a relationship, but this is more the spiritual part of it. So I see this as a new way of looking at things, a new way of being creative. So possibly having a ton of inspiration happening right now. And this is going to be very, very, very fast moving energy, because the Ace of Wands is like the Sun card. It's very powerful and it's a very strong card. But compared with the Ace of Wands in the present moment, we're talking about you taking off. We're talking about there being a lot of energy right here, and it's explosive. I mean, this is like cat lighting TNT and throwing it around and doing stuff that you do with TNT, blowing up rocks and shit. I don't know. You guys have the TNT. I don't know what you do with it. Okay, just be safe. Seriously though, this is all about creative energy and passion, and I feel like this is definitely coming to a head. So you've been having kind of prophetic dreams where you can see what's going on in your life and you can see what steps to take. Maybe there's been more of an artistic inspiration. Psychic ability could definitely be there as well, but there could also just be the sense that you're being watched or you're being taken care of. And that's what I feel is here. I feel like there's this kind, caring sense, and I'm getting a sense of more of a feminine energy around you guys. So there could be an entity being a spiritual entity that's of a positive nature. So we're talking more of a feminine kind of feeling, because that's what I'm feeling. It's more of this feminine kind of motherly sort of nature, or grandmotherly nature, but very gentle, very nurturing, very compassionate kind of an energy. So this is really good. Moving forward in your spiritual abilities, anything that you choose to focus on right now, you will be able to achieve. Just make sure that it's what you really want, okay? Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it to death, but just make sure it's what you want, all right? And then looking at the future, so all of this energy comes to kind of a head here. So looking at the future, I get justice in reverse and I get death in reverse, okay? So this to me tells me you're going to go kill a judge, all right? Not a good move. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Unless you do, which case I hope I'm not involved in the trial. No, this to me says that we're working on balancing and we're working on getting rid of what no longer works in our life, but we need to really take a step back and we need to look at what's going on. Okay, so what does that mean exactly? When I see the Death card, we're talking Scorpio energy. When I see Justice, we're talking Libra energy. So I feel like there's a sense of balancing emotion with logic, right? But there has to be this sense, because right here we had all this fire, and now we're having emotion and logic. So we have all this creativity energy, which is fire energy, passionate energy, fire energy, right? And then we have this kind of logical kind of energy, this professional kind of energy, which is Libra, the air sign. And then we have emotional energy, right, which is Death or Scorpio. So we're looking at balancing these energies out. And when we're looking at balancing them out, that means not rushing into anything. Again, you have a ton of energy here. That's what makes it difficult. There is a ton of energy right here. And it's got me souped up too. It's like I had a cup of coffee. Okay? It's not like I did cocaine like last time. It's coffee for sure. But definitely there's something here where we're focusing on balancing energy. So when we're doing that, we need to calm ourselves, okay? And we need to, again, look at what we want in our life, what we want to have happen. The reason I see Death, the emotion, and transformational card, and Justice, the kind of balance card, not kind of, it is the balance card. There's literal scales. But the reason why I'm seeing those is because we have to balance the creativity with action, okay? Because you can be as creative as all hell, but if there's no action behind it, it kind of just stays bottled up. The energy needs to be expressed through some kind of means, right? And so that's why I'm seeing this. I'm seeing a sense of needing to express the creativity, your perception upon the world. And when we do that, that's that artistic sense. It can be music, writing, psychic ability, photography, painting, so many different things. But it's more of a creative expression, okay? And we need to temper that with logic, which means if we create something, is there a deeper meaning behind why we're creating it? Are we looking to sell something that we're creating? Are we looking to just create for the sake of creation? Are we looking to create to get the attention of our peers? What is it that we're looking to create, and why are we looking to create it? That's what I'm seeing so far, you guys. In the future, though, I'm seeing that there just needs to be balance, and you need to not be impulsive and take action. You need to think about it for a second and then take action. okay? We need to think about what we're doing instead of just doing it. So I'm going to look at our cards here, our other cards. This is the Energy Oracle deck, and I'm going to be shuffling here. Okay. And then we'll do some psychic impressions. That's weird, I get envy in reverse. I got envy in reverse in another reading too. So when I see envy in reverse, I feel like you're someone who's not like wanting any. You're not like looking at other people and saying, I want this. But there's a sense of like contentment, and there's a sense of having all that you need in the moment, okay? But there's also a sense that it kind of shifts. I feel like when things are going really good, we're calm and we're okay. But when things are going bad, we tend to look and kind of lust after other people's objects or people or friends or family that they have. We sort of lust after those. And I don't mean in like just a sexual way. I mean in a way where it's like we really want to have that part of our life fulfilled. And so we tend to attack, or we tend to get in that mode where it's like we need it, you know, sort of like Golem from Lord of the Rings. I want it, you know, the whole deal. And no, hobbitses are bad, and the whole thing. The impression is horrible, you guys, but it's sort of like that. Okay, we need to be I think Schmeagol was the good one, and I don't know if I'm saying Schmeagol or Smeagol, don't know how that goes. But we need to balance ourselves out. Good or bad, we need to balance ourselves. And when we do that, that's when we'll start seeing results, okay? So we're going to move on to the love reading, but first, some psychic impressions. So let me just do this. Okay. Hey, buddy. Yep. My cat's telling me something. Trying to give me a meowsage. He's catcalling me. No. So what I saw was something equivalent to, and this is going to sound bizarre. They always do. So I see someone who's like taking something and they're squishing it down. And to me, when I see this and someone squishing it down and the thing that they're squishing is retaining its shape, I feel like this is to not be rigid. This is to adapt and be flexible. So that means that no matter what's coming at you, that we need to keep changing our viewpoint to not be rigid. If we feel like we have become the master in something, there tends to be an arrogance that's involved with that. And from there, we don't learn anymore from anyone else because we're already the master. What's the point in learning when we already know it all? So we have to approach things in a way where we have to be humble. We have to be sort of the student-teacher kind of concept where you're always learning. You're always in a learning phase because no matter what, there's going to be someone or something else out there that knows more than you do about a topic. And we just need to remain humble and take inspiration from what other people are teaching and take maybe the way they present something, not the knowledge that they're presenting, but the way they present it, the style that they have. We can take these different ways of learning and these different ways of presenting and these different ways of doing a job and translate it into something that suits us. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing there. Okay, let's get to the love reading. And you guys, you can look... I can't remember if I talked about it. You can look in the description down below for your other readings, okay? Because this is Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. So definitely do that. So that way you don't have to click out of my channel and try and find your other readings. You can just look right down in the description. And also if you're down there, check out the website, vitaltarot.com, okay? And that's where me and my guides do readings for you. We do energy healings to help with emotional well-being. That's what we specialize in. And yeah, so let's do this. So in the love department, I see the Wheel of Fortune in the past, and I see the Ten of Cups in the past. So this to me, because we're reading in the past, obviously, if you didn't get the memo, it's the past. Okay, just so you know. So I see the Wheel of Fortune, the Ten of Cups. Both of these are tens. Okay, because we see the X right there. Kind of hard to see. But there's an X right next to the Wheel of Fortune. And then the Ten of Cups is obviously the Ten of Cups. So to me, we're looking at two tens, which is about completion, about fate. It's definitely about something being done, but not necessarily in the way you wanted. When I see the Ten of Cups in reverse, I feel like there was a harmonious union at one point, but now it is dissolved. So I feel like there's something that happened that was fateful, and now you're no longer communicating with a person, or you're no longer involved in the kind of relationship that you wanted to have. So, or I feel like the blinders could have been lifted on the relationship itself, where we thought it was one thing, and then we come to find out that it was actually completely different from what we thought it was the whole time. Okay? Sort of having a relationship kind of awakening, so to speak. Okay? Moving into the present, we see the Knight of Swords in reverse with the Seven of Coins. And so, the way I look at this, it's Gordon Ramsay. And I don't know, I see like Hell's Kitchen. Was that the show he was on? And he's like making food and he's calling people names and stuff. No, seriously though, I see the Seven of Coins, the Knight of Swords in reverse. And the way that I see this is we're looking at strengthening a gift that we've been given. We're looking at taking care of what we've been given. And in the love department, we're kind of looking at cultivating our sense of self-worth right now. So I do feel like a lot of you are in a place where possibly there's not a partner now, and maybe you want to have one in the future, but there's definitely this sense of like, I need to take care of me in the moment right now. Instead of thinking, well, I need to take care of this, this, and this, you're definitely having more of a focus on yourself. But where I see the Knight of Swords in reverse, I feel like this can lead to a sense of extremeness, where we're going inside in our minds too much, we're thinking way too much, and this also leads to us being selfish as well. So we need to focus on self-recovery, and we need to focus on self-help, and we need to focus on the self, absolutely, because from that we can help others. But we also need to focus on the sense that the way that we help ourselves is through sort of shifting our perspective. Taking care of ourselves is great. But why are we taking care of ourselves? What's the reason why we do or we don't take care of ourselves? And it comes down to, learning, accepting challenges the way that they are. Instead of kind of perverting the knowledge and perverting the challenges, we accept things the way that they are. And when we start to do that, we start to see the reality and the truth of things. We don't hold on to expectations as much with other people. We realize that people either will or won't meet our expectations, but it's up to us to meet our own expectations, right? And so I feel like we're a little jaded in the love department, but I also feel that we can also come out on top of this and be better than we were before, because now we'll know what we want, and now we'll be able to go after what we want, okay? Let's look at the future here. Okay, this is good. So we get the Queen of Cups, and we get the Two of Coins, okay? So the Queen of Cups, to me, is definitely it could be about pregnancy, it could be about a water sign, particularly a Cancer, but it could also be Scorpio or Pisces. And so to me, the Queen of Cups is about birth. It could be giving birth to a new idea. Or in the love sense, to me, it could be about giving birth to a new relationship, or giving birth to new emotions, letting things come to the surface, letting yourself express those things. Because I see the Queen of Cups, and I see the Two of Coins in reverse, okay? To me, this is about letting yourself explore and not blocking yourself off. So maybe there's something you want to learn, but you don't want to feel like a beginner in that. And I mean that in the sense of love. Like, maybe there's an emotional part of yourself that you want to explore, but you don't want to seem like you don't know what's going on within yourself. So there's sort of this pride where we don't want to start something new. We don't want to look at ourselves in a new way because we feel childish, or we feel naive, or we feel like we should already know this by now, kind of a thing. Definitely take that out the window, okay? First thing we're taking out the window is judgment. Once judgment goes, then we can look at things the way that we need to look at them. We observe them. We see them, okay? We don't look at a potato bug and judge it for being a potato bug, okay? We need to do the same things with our problems. We don't look at our problems and judge them, because that does not help us. How does judgment help? It doesn't, okay? It just makes us feel bad because we're comparing this experience to another experience. We're comparing the past to the present, okay? And that's not something that helps us. It doesn't. So instead, what we do is we don't judge, we don't compare, we just observe, and we have that be it, okay? We don't go out on a walk and judge trees. Again, that's how we should be with our problems. Don't judge ourselves, because that just creates that. When we judge, we're doing two things. We are judging how superior we are to something, or we're judging how inferior we are to something. So either of those things aren't going to help us, because it distorts reality, it distorts the truth, and it doesn't bring us any closer to a sense of realness. It just makes us either feel better or worse about ourselves in a way that's false. Okay, so that doesn't help us in any way. I'm going to draw an energy oracle card and then do some psychic impressions. So I'm going to shuffle these for just a second. Highest good, highest good. Okay, not much of a shuffle. I'm just kind of swinging them around, but this is definitely where we go. Okay. Rest and rejuvenation. Okay, so when I see rest and rejuvenation, and I feel like it's in reverse, I feel like there needs to be time where we're taking action in the love department. And what that means to me is that we're not chasing after it. We're not like, going on the bar scene and doing that whole thing. No, to me what this means, I mean, if that's how you like meeting people, that's great. But I'm saying to me what this means is that we need to decide what we want out of a relationship. Instead of thinking, oh, it would be nice if we had that or this, we need to decide what it is that we would want in a partner. Maybe write it down. Maybe try to do something where we're manifesting more of that kind of energy. Because thinking about it's great, but we need to really get into why we want this. And we need to see when we're asking for a partner, we need to see if we're giving off that same energy. So if we're asking for someone who's kind and caring, are we kind and caring? Okay. Again, no judgment if we're one way or the other, because we can learn and we can adapt and we can change. Are we looking for someone who's very quiet because we're very quiet? Or are we looking for someone that's very loud and silly because we're very loud and silly? Those are the kinds of things we want to look for. We want to we want to attract kind of the ideal partner for our situation, and this is the way to do it. Okay, we need to take action in the way of manifestation. Not taking action in the way that we go out and we chase people. That doesn't work. Okay, we take action in the way that we look at manifestation and we bring that into our lives. Okay, so we're going to look at... I'm going to do some psychic messages here and see what we can get. And we'll go from there. Okay. Okay, two things in the love department. First thing. Okay. Smacked my fingernail. That doesn't feel too good. Like just right there, just the tip of the... Oh, man, that makes my teeth hurt. Just a little bit. I don't know why. Okay, so we're looking at two things, okay, that I said, and I wasn't going to hit myself again. First one being, I see a bar graph that's going up, okay? I feel like that's comparing. I feel like that's sort of the same thing we were talking about. But when I see the bar graph going up, I feel like when we're going up, everything's great, everything's fine. But when things go down, we go into like chaos mode where things will never be the same again. And things are always bad and things are never going to change, okay? So I want us to take a breath and I want us to take a look and see if there's any evidence that suggests that that is actually the case. Because we need to challenge these false beliefs that we have that are going on. No judgment here, okay? But we need to challenge these things and see if they're real or if they're not. And if they're not real, we can start to take a step back and we can start to be like, okay, I need to put myself in reality. I need to be in the present moment, okay? The second thing that I saw was the chameleon, okay, which again represents that adaptation. So the psychic messages were more about confirmation to me than they were about like giving a newer psychic message, like giving a psychic message that was new information. It's more about confirmation, and it's more about letting ourselves be ready to adapt and letting ourselves stay humble, but also stay wise in the way that we learn and the way that we adapt to new situations, challenges, and events in our lives. So with that, you guys, that is your reading. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and yeah, please check out my website, and also the other videos are down below. This was for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. So, yeah. Thank you guys very much. I love you, and I will talk to you next week. Have a good one.